Oh, I really shouldn't have drank whiskey last night. Hey folks, it's David Burr with Reality Reimagined, and I work in Photoshop almost every day. Photography and Photoshop art is my full-time job, and besides doing it for clients for pay, I also do it for education. But I also, more often than not, get up almost every day and come in and sit down in front of my computer and edit a photo to stay atop of my skill set, to practice, to try new things. And I thought, I'm going to start sharing some of that journey with all of you. So I decided to start the shop vlog. It's Photoshop shortened to be, so instead of it being like shop vlog, and it's not a vlog about me going out and purchasing things, it's me about working in the Photoshop. Shop vlog. I like it. I like saying, oh, I shopped that in. Did you Photoshop that? No, I shopped it in. I like saying that. I really despise when people say, oh, can you Photoshop that? No, I can artistically enhance your image. I can edit that. So I decided to take matters into my hands. Like, no, I can shop that for you. And they're like, I don't need you to go buy something for me. Can you take care of the pimple that's on my face? And I'm like, I can shop, I can photo. Anyway, so we're going to start working on an image. And this is not necessarily so much a tutorial as it is just me going through the motions of the work that I typically do and sharing some of those highlights with you as I make this journey. So sit back, relax. I hope you enjoy the very first shop vlog. I feel like Vanna White when I say like shop vlog, da-na-na-na, shop vlog. Sometimes at night I like to open a bottle of whiskey, pour myself too much, and shop vlog. No, that just sounds creepy. But anyway, let's dive in to the Photoshops for shop vlog. Okay, so this is a gelled glamour image of a fantastic and wonderful model. Her name is Katarina Keene. You can see all of her amazing work by following her Instagram with the link below on the screen. So this gelled glamour image has already been processed in Adobe Camera Raw, and just some basic corrections to luminosity and to the color and the details to bring things out. But it was prepared essentially for a foundation to take into the Photoshops instead of artistically enhancing it only using Adobe Camera Raw. So now let's get into the fun and start working. So I'm going to use the healing brush to get rid of that awful little thing that's on the metal wall behind her. Just cloning out some of these distractions that are there because I don't want them to be in my picture. And it's my photo. I can do what I want. So let's do some frequency separation. I'll be running my Retouch 3.0 action. And it is essentially an action that populates all the different layers for frequency separation, as well as dodging and burning, as well as eye retouching. I won't be retouching her eyes in this case, but having the layers of dodging and burning and frequency separation are kind of key. And I use the median noise version of frequency separation. Let's go to 6 pixels and hit a... Hey, look at that. All three. You know what? It's kind of cool as a black and white photo too. But it's gelled photography, so I can't not have it. I had to look down at my microphone to make sure it wasn't muted. Anyway, so here we go. On the main detail layer, we're going to use the clone stamp tool to remove any distractions or blemishes that need to get gone. The flow is still at 10%. Let's change that back to 100. 100! Start getting rid of all the ish that could potentially be a distraction. Shop vlogs are going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to enjoy that, and I hope people get stuff out of it, but I also want you to know that most of the time as I'm working, I listen to music or audiobooks, and it's driving me batty. I'm excited to do a shop vlog, and I hope that you all get something out of it, but I can't listen to music in the background. I guess I could listen to it on my phone with earbuds into my ears, but then you wouldn't be able to hear it, and at some point I'm going to start singing, and the music's not there, I'm going to look stupid. Sadly, I can't play the music in the background, so I'm listening to a song in my head that I'm humming ever so quietly. Let's zoom in and do some more fine, detailed work. And see, this is why I like shop vlog, because I have to retouch the whole thing. I can't just be like, well, purposes for video, I'm not going to retouch the entire thing. I have to retouch the entire thing. So what I can do is you're going to see me retouch her face, and I think I'm going to speed it up now. Magical. Pretty smooth. So a little bit about that process. I was using the clone stamps tool at 100% flow and opacity and trying to get rid of any visual distractions. I turned off the black and white adjustment helper layer here for frequency separation because there's color in the details and you can potentially move that color and contaminate other scenes. And then what I did was I reduced the I kept the opacity of the clone stamp tool to 100%, but I changed the flow to 10% and then found an area of pixels that are relatively soft and then just cloned those over all the other areas of texture, and again at a flow of 10%. So it's using actual pixels to soften other pixels instead of using the mixer brush on the detail layer to soften them, blur them out. This way, I'm replacing pixels with softer ones that are slightly out of focus so that when I get to the end stage of artistically enhancing the image and start sharpening it and adding high pass and all that other kind of stuff, hopefully those pixels will be pretty soft. Is this a professional retouch of all the skin pores and so forth? Nope, it's not. And since this is a gelled Glamour image, I can get away with a little, in my opinion, I can get away with a little bit of fudging some of that because of stylization, essentially. So ultimately, once I enhance the texture and details of the skin, that should be fine. And if it isn't, then I can make fine-tune adjustments there. But this is an image for social media and for shop vlog, and I'm not getting paid, so I'm not going to spend hours and hours retouching all the pores in her skin. So anyway, let's move on. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the color layer and use the mixer brush tool to start smoothing out the transitions of colors. Mixer brush tool, back on the color layer, set to wet is set to 75%, load is set to 25%, mix is set to 10%, and flow is set to 5%. And I will be producing a video to the YouTubes explaining why I have changed those from their default setting, because I have been exploring the spoilers. This is a teaser trailer, if you will. I've been exploring using the mixer brush tool the way traditional artists use it in Photoshops to create traditional painted artwork. Well, I guess it's not traditional painted artwork, since traditional painted artwork is using a canvas and oil paints and gouache and making beautiful paintings in the digital age, digital painting. It's the same techniques, the same ideas. It's just using digital mediums instead of real ones. But I'm sure there are people out there like, well, that's not the way I painted back in 1474. It's how I used to feel when people would talk like 10 years ago, and they were like, are you really a photographer if you're using a digital camera in Photoshop? No, you're not. And I'm like, oh my gosh, your imagination is blink. Anyway, Shop Vlog is not a platform for me to complain, even though it's a vlog and I can talk about whatever I want. And again, just using the mixer brush to smooth all of these colors and transitions peacefully so that they peacefully coexist on our model's body. I've got to figure out a music solution for these vlogs. I really do. Music is such a wonderful, wonderful thing. And not just for Photoshop retouching, it's just a beautiful thing. I love music. I love music of all kinds. There are some music genres that I'm not a fan of. We don't need to talk about that. Growling, gargling music, whatever that is, like not death metal, but like the music where they actually just like, and they're like not even saying words, they just do that. Yeah, I don't like that kind of music at all. So now we're to a fun part where I like to use the regular brush as a traditional artist would to start painting in new colors into the scene that are based upon the existing colors. I'm just brightening them up a little bit, and essentially what I'm doing is building a foundation for dodging and burning so that I can then add a straight luminosity dodge and burn to the image and already have a colorful base built up for the white luminosity values to come into play. So what I'm doing is sampling the existing color by holding Alt or Option and switching over to the eyedropper tool. And then I'm just increasing the brightness percentage, hue, saturation, and brightness. Hue, saturation, and brightness percentage. Increasing that so that it's the same hue, the same color, it's just a little bit brighter. And then painting that in as a base because I plan on adding then a white-ish highlight into these areas. Sampling again, making this a little bit brighter by like 10%. Now just painting it in on a blank layer to get those highlights into the scene. And just needs a little bit of a foundation, not much. Got some of that magenta back. And 69% giggity and painted. I'm gonna have to take that one out too, probably. I don't know. I'll make a decision later. All right, let's go to dodge and burn. and let the fun begin. I always like to start with the burn. Now I'm going to the, I'm not going to do the dodge. I'm going to go to the color highlights first and start adding these. This is a really wonderful way to accentuate the highlights and the color at the same time. But it's one that can go real far, real quick. So you got to be careful how you do it. So ultimately, I think that looks pretty good. And now I'm going to go into the artistic enhancement phase, which is stuff that's just using adjustment layers, using sharpening, adding different colors and different scenes to it. So if you want to know more about that, you should check out part 4 of the basic look at gelled photography, which is on the channel. The index card will show you right now. And go to that little link and see that, because I go through those same basic steps. But actually what I just decided to do is to not work destructively. I'm going to hit Control Alt and Z or Command Alt and Z to go one step back in my history, because I just realized I think I want to do a tutorial using this image for the YouTubes, an advanced tutorial, if you will, about how to add some more color into the scene, demonstrating a couple of things that we just did in the shop vlog. So without further ado, I'm going to end the shop vlog for today, but you'll get to see the final piece of work as the thumbnail at the beginning of the video, as well as at the end in this nice lovely showcase of a before and after. But thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of this. Like and subscribe the content on this channel. Like the video if you like the shop vlog, and subscribe so you can stay atop of all the new information that's coming out on this channel. And until next time, I will see you out there in the world of Photoshop.